Well, hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Well, we're getting off to a little bit of a slow start this morning, but today we have a couple things that we have planned. So I am going to be transitioning my whiskey barrels for summer. So I've got some new plants that we'll be planting. Some stuff I'll be planting as seed as well. And then I also want to show you a hummingbird feeder that was sent to us by Grete Gotye. We're going to be setting that up today, and then I have my GoPro out and ready so that hopefully we can capture some action here with our hummingbird feeders. So be sure to check that out. I hope you guys will stick around. Let's get started. So I picked up from Tractor Supply just some royal wing ready to use hummingbird nectar. So pretty straightforward. You just pull the tab and fill her up. And then on this guy, it is pretty easy. You just unscrew the bottom. We'll be filling this up here. And then you just screw it back on, flip it back over, and hang it up. So pretty easy to use. I'm very excited. It just seems very straightforward. Comes apart very nicely, so it's easy to clean. All right, let's go hang this up. All right, so we've got our raised bed potting mix. Behind here, I've got my garden thyme mushroom compost. And then, as always, we've got our earthworm castings, our garden tone, all our supplies here, our plants, and then our harvesting baskets over here. All right, so we are all finished getting rid of all of the plants that I know will not survive our summer heat here in Zone 9B, Arizona. So now that we've got all those out of here, we can get started planting the new ones. And I will say it's always a little bittersweet coming to the end of a season, but again, it's a chance at new beginnings. And for this first garden bed, I am going to be using the ChatGPT AI technology again. Last fall was just so successful, and I was so pleased with how that all turned out. With all of its suggestions and the way it all matured, it just was absolutely gorgeous, and I just loved looking at it all season long. So if you haven't seen that video, go back and check it out, and you can see how I did that and the final result of what that was. For this season, we're going to be using all summer plants, a lot of flowers, and keeping some of the edibles such as our Swiss chard, thyme, and oregano. Now, for those of you wondering how our hummingbird feeder is doing, well, so far no visitors yet, but we'll give it a little bit more time and I'm sure they'll show up eventually. Let's get back to our project. I am super excited to give these whiskey barrels a whole new look. These whiskey barrels have been with me for a few seasons now, and while they've held up beautifully, they definitely needed a refresh. I like to remove any dead plants and loosen up the soil, and if it's compacted or depleted, I sometimes will dump part of it out and mix in fresh potting mix and compost to recharge it. And if your barrels are super compacted or you've had drainage issues, now is a great time to drill a few extra holes or add gravel at the bottom. So using ChatGPT once again, this is what it came up with. We are going to be planting some Angelonia for height, dwarf zinnias, and vinca flowers for color and fullness. And then there's going to be some trailing thyme and oregano, and we'll leave the Swiss chard for added texture. I'm also adding in some Malabar spinach seeds for additional trailing elements and fullness. So what I'm going for is just a simple layered look, something with a little height, texture, and a few trailing elements for movement. think one of the best rules to follow when planting containers is to follow an old favorite rule of thriller, filler, and spiller. It's kind of a foolproof way to create a balanced container that looks lush from every angle. All right, well, we got all of our transplants planted and our seeds planted as well. And that is all for today's video. So for the next few weeks, I'll be sure to keep you posted how our new ChatGPT barrel does. And I'm really hopeful that I think this is going to fill out very nicely and provide some nice color as well as height and beauty throughout the summer. Now, if you guys like this content, be sure to hit that like button and be sure to subscribe. I hope I'll see you again on the next one. Bye! Well, it didn't take long. These little beauties showed up later in the afternoon, and there's just something so calming about watching them hover, feed, and then just fly away, a tiny little moment of magic in the middle of the day. And if you're thinking of adding a feeder to your own garden, I cannot recommend it enough.